So this is the wrap-up for the live market open for Tuesday, February 23rd. We're still seeing the big Boris effect, Mayor of London's opposition to the UK remaining in the EU, risks Brexit much more than beforehand, big fall in the pound. Apart from that, we had yesterday and a bit less today, a better market mood. Euro down, commodity currencies are up. Today we're seeing a small correction, but I still see it as a dead cat bounce and not as a change of sentiment. Okay, yesterday we had disappointing manufacturing PMI in Germany and also disappointing market manufacturing PMI in the US. Let's begin with the pound. Currently 141.42, resistance 142.30, support 140.50. Big blow on just in the wake of the week, and then it fell to lower ground. Currently some stability. This probably will not last too long. Boris Johnson vs David Cameron, Brexit staying in or going out. Will I stay or should I stay or should I go? Is probably the theme song for the pound. Okay. Euro dollar currently bouncing off the lows. Yesterday we had a break below 110.70 and it found support at 110. 110.40 is the current level. Well within this range of 110 to 110.70. Let's see how things develop. We have an important figure. We'll talk about the events soon. The yen is standing out. The yen looks terrible. I mean, the yen looks strong, which is terrible for the Bank of Japan. Sort of nobody believes the Bank of Japan can really lift the yen, not by measures, not by intervention, and we're seeing the yen strengthening despite the better market mood. Okay, 112 right here, 111 is support. That's the lows that we've seen before we had the small intervention by the Bank of Japan. 113.20 is some kind of resistance, followed by 114.25. Dollar CAD rising from the lows 137.20 yesterday. We had it fall quite nicely with as oil prices advanced. Relative Canadian dollar is still on a recovery path. Dollar CAD's trend is still to the downside. Aussie dollar holding nicely above. Yesterday we had a break above 72.20. Currently 72.40, resistance 72.80. Australian dollar is showing its resilience, and the Kiwi dollar off the highs, but 68.83 at the moment, but at the higher end of the range. Today we have quite a busy day in market. So just after the show, in less than 15 minutes, we have the German IFO business climate. The business climate is the most important release over there. Let's see, we're expecting a deterioration in sentiment, but it should be minor. If we have a big fall, it's of course bad and could imply more action by the ECB. In the UK, we have the inflation report holding hearings at 10 GMT. Usually it has a significant effect because it's a speech by Mark Carney and his colleagues, the governor of the Bank of England. But remember, politics also have an impact. He might be asked about Brexit and probably dodge these questions. I think they have a clear opinion also that economically it would be better for the UK to remain with the EU. Of course, it's not only the economy, there are also many more questions there. For those of you risking yourself with the Swiss franc, we have a speech by Thomas Jordan at 11:15. Probably the main events for today come from the US because it's a double feature: consumer confidence, which is more important than existing home sales. The biggest impact will come if both figures go in the same direction. Recently, most US figures have been coming out better than expected. Let's see if this trend continues. It's a relatively new trend. Only 3 weeks ago, it was all going wrong, especially with that ISM non-manufacturing PMI, which was really a big blow for the US dollar. But since then, things have improved. And for those of you staying up late at night, Australian dollar faces a test with the wage price index and a speech by Stanley Fischer to remind us that it's not only that the Fed is still the biggest factor in town, not only Boris Johnson. Okay. Any last questions? I have here a comment from JM. Good morning. How do you see pound yen today? I see a 3 drive divergence approaching on the daily chart. Thanks for sharing the chart. Well, looking at the chart, yeah, we have it follow along the trend, and also the moving averages are looking all down. Yeah, it's quite a fall. Remember that not so long ago on pound yen we were at the 180s, so that's a huge fall. Pound is suffering, of course, the Boris effect, and the yen, as Goldman Sachs I think pointed out, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy that we'll have a stronger yen. The Bank of Japan losing its battle against deflation, their inability to weaken the pound, weaken the yen, of the Bank of Japan to weaken the yen with the negative rate, inability to justify a forex intervention. All this finds hungry investors willing to take their shots at the yen to strengthen it. Anyway, we're off the lows, so we're 80%, 80 pips off the lows, but still 160 remains strong resistance. I would say that there's some weak support at 157.80 because that's a recent low. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for today.